Welcome back to Business Weekly. Today, I want to talk to you entrepreneurs. Wow, are we already starting like this? We pretty much are, but you know what? We keep it moving. I want to talk to you today about something that's mostly overlooked by a lot of entrepreneurs, and that's the connection between your business plan and your marketing plan. Here's the truth. Too often, marketing gets treated like an afterthought. It becomes about social media posts or ads or chasing followers. But if your marketing isn't informed by your business plan, then you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks. Again, welcome to Business Weekly right here on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio with your girl, your hostess with the mostest, your drip strategist, and your boss methodologist, Miss J. I love coming on here each and every week to drop tutorials, to have conversations with guests. And today, unfortunately, my guest had to cancel due to an emergency, but it doesn't stop me from dropping gems that you need to know. As always, I'm a big proponent of speaking about business plans. I believe that a business plan is like a foundation to a house. I believe it's the recipe to a great meal. I believe it's the thing that's just going to capture your vision, your passion, put it down, and give you the ability to work from it. So I'm always saying, have you built your blueprint? It tells you your revenue goals. And that's what we're working on businesses for, right? We're here to see how we can take our profit margins, our growth strategies, and our capacity to the next level. And marketing should flow directly from that. Because every campaign, every channel, every message needs to serve your business objectives, not distract from them. So today in Business Weekly and in this segment, I'm going to share a simple framework from my boss methodology, and that a way to really make sure your marketing is business driven, operations aligned, system supported, and storytelling focused. Okay, so now BOSS stands for Business Operations Sustainable and Systems and Strategies. And within that, I have various other BOSS methodologies that you can use in various parts of your business. And today we're talking about marketing. When you look through this lens, the BOSS lens, you're going to stop chasing attention and start building impact that actually grows your bottom line, because that's why we're here, right? So let's tune in with this slideshow and let's get this started. Now, too often entrepreneurs are creating a marketing plan and separating their business plan from the marketing plan. And today I want to reframe how you think about your business plan. Now, if you don't have one, that's not a good thing. I was gonna say, don't worry about no, but that's not me. If you don't have a business plan, then you don't have a blueprint. If you don't have a blueprint, that means you don't have your vision is not structured enough to make it work. And so, no matter how long a person's been in business, no matter how big the organization that I work with, I always stress my first thing is show me the plan. Because if I can see it, I can build it. I can reframe it. I can operationalize it. I can systemize it. I can process it. But when you're thinking about marketing, people tend to walk away from the plan and start to derive a new strategy based on what they kind of see out there. And so today I want to really help you to reframe that it's not about chasing attention. It's about making sure every marketing decision supports the financial, the operational, and strategic goals of your business. I'm going to repeat that one more time. It's about the financial, operational, and strategic goals of the business. If you are just logging in, welcome. I need you to hit the subscribe button because we've raised our goals to get our channel up on Love Bay. And so if you're new and you're just coming in, no matter where you are around the world, hit subscribe, like, and share. Why? Because we're here to develop you as a CEO. And CEO, there's a formula to it. And the basic formula is show up, show out, be committed, be consistent, and surround yourself with a Love Bay community. Now, let's talk a little bit about what are some of the common disconnects that people are facing in marketing. Well, I made a little list here. There's 3 key things that I want you to key in on. A lot of entrepreneurs treat marketing as a set of tactics, or like social media posts, ads, events, instead of a business tool, right? Hey, my regulars have arrived. What up, sweet spot? Shout out. Please make sure you check it out. As you can see, my face is absolutely glowing, taking a business moment to pump my client. This facial is brought to you by the Sweet Spa. Yes, you can hit like on that. Put some comments in the YouTube on how fabulous I look. Thank you. But let's get back to the gems. Many entrepreneurs treat marketing as a set of tactics. right? And this creates a disconnect at sometimes because you can be visible but not profitable. I'm gonna say that one more time. You can be visible but not profitable. You can have likes but not clients. Now, are you in that boat? Drop a comment in the chat. Are you in that boat? Do you feel that you're visible, that you have a lot of great content out there, but you're not making money? Drop it in the chat, post the questions. I'm here today to give you that tutorial on how we are going to stop hitting roadblocks. In fact, I'm going to be dedicating the next few weeks to talking about marketing because I find that when we look at marketing from a perspective of a business tool, it has a very different connotation. And tonight, I want to talk to you a little bit more about that. I want you to shift your lens. I want you to think that your marketing plan should be driven by your business plan. Now, if you're a business plan fanatic, as I am, you know that the first things that we talk about in the plan is your company description, which is your mission, your values, your philosophies, and your goals. I can't tell you how many people move away from their mission to start looking at things that they see as trends out there. Now, trends are important to study. All right. Trends are important to look at because that's the way the world is moving. It's the way the world is working. But it's not about just following blindly what the trend is. It's always going to be about how does it connect to what you have officially had planned for your market segmentation or your customer avatar for your product or service. A lot of times you might be saying to yourself, I need more marketing. But what you really mean to say is, I need to post more on Instagram or run some ads. Okay. So that's what you really want to be saying. But it's not just about promotion, it's about strategy. And it has to be rooted to where the business is going. I can't tell you that a lot of people make this mistake, focusing only on visibility. You can be the most popular brand on social media and still struggle to pay your bills if your visibility doesn't translate into profit. I like talking about money. If you didn't realize that by now, then you should stop listening to my show. But if you like talking about money, tune in every week right here, Thursday at 7 p.m., because I'm all about helping people to understand that they say that time is money, money is time. Well, that truly is. And that's an age old saying. And my mom used to say, listen, don't let people rent space in your head when they can buy real estate. Right. So, what's another trap? Well, one is about measuring success by likes, followers, or views. And I was at a time. I mean, I don't even like doing social media. I won't even lie. All my clients know I'm just like, I might post once in a while, but most of my clients come from referrals. Most of my clients come from word of mouth. Most of my clients come from me interacting face to face. So I really never really jumped on the social media train. I know I need to, and I will, but I do understand the power of marketing, and I don't look at social media as the only tool. Is it a powerful tool? Yes, it is. But what really matters is not the vanity metrics. It's the question to ask yourself, are you getting leads? So you can have 5,000 people like your picture. Has one person called you for your service or went online and bought your product? Are those leads converting? That's the question. And the last question I want you to ask yourself, are they the right clients who sustain your profit margin? Now, I can go on for days about client acquisition, client retention strategies. I can go on for days about understanding who your clients are, but your business plan has already done that for you. When we went down into our customer avatar, we started talking about who the person, the ideal person, or the ideal client that would benefit from your product or service. So, I want you to kind of factor in again. We're not looking at vanity metrics. Today, we're talking about how can we convert to money. Now, I love doing how-tos because the what and the why is important. The how is the way to execute and implement so that you can get what you need accomplished in terms of revenue targets. Do you have a revenue target? Another question. All right. I want you to put this all down, drop in the chat if you have a question. And as always, I'm going to ask you to be interactive with me. If you're here, if you're hitting the replay, please feel free to just hit pause and start writing these things down so you can have a great conversation with your boardroom table. And that could be you, yourself, and you in all different positions. But I still encourage you to have the conversation. Okay. Now, let me talk about the boss lens. So, as you know, as a boss methodologist, I really focus on business operations, systems, and skills. And so I break down different types of methods within the boss. And this one for the marketing side is boss again, but it's business objectives, right? I call this, sorry, I don't call it, but I, the business objective is so key. I think sometimes people get so caught up when their products are not selling or their services are not selling that they tend to start watering it down and getting like they want to create new products or new services or think this is going to help and that's going to help and this is going to help and that, and people are liking this and people are liking that. And that's really important. But although it is, it's not about continuously recreating. It's about what are the objectives of my business, right? The other piece is the operation systems, operations. How are my operations matching the capacity of the growth that I want for my business? Does my business have the capacity? Can I serve 4, 5, 10, 15 different clients or avatars? Or am I overreaching and I need to bring either strengthen the operation so that it can support that level of reach, or minimize the approach to really focuses on the ones that I started the business for? Right? So when you're filtering all those marketing decisions through your business plan, it doesn't leave you wandering as to where to go. You've already decided this is who I want to serve. And I don't get hooked on how many people are going to follow me. I get on hooked on the right people following me, the right people getting the information. I'm not for everyone, but I am for those who want to build their knowledge, their skill, and their capacity. That's my focus. That's my avatar. I always say, I can help you win, but I can't give you the will to win. If you want to win, then come, let's get started on building your KSC. You want to build an empire? Come, let's get started on how to level up your drip, drive resilience, innovation, and progression so that you can build your story, which is that S. The systems and the story, those are key to passing over these marketing roadblocks that you're having. This framework really forces you to look at marketing not in isolation, but in relation to your business model. And I keep saying this because this is something that I'm seeing. I would see something and then go over there and they're offering me 16 other items. So what exactly am I buying here? What am I trying to benefit from, right? So if you apply this boss lens to your marketing, then it stops being random acts of promotion, right? Like I always say, you're not going to catch me dancing and pointing at the fingers and stuff. It's just not me, right? But I would think it's random, to be honest, for myself. But once I understand that I am intentional in my promotion, then it becomes a driver of profitability. And again, that's why we're here. We're here to be profitable. So I'm going to break down the 4 steps for you so that you can see for yourself. So if you need, take a pause. Well, you can't because I'm live. But if you're hitting replay, take a pause. Right? But get a pen and paper and run through this with me. Because why? You want to make money. So what are we sitting around for just watching the screen? I know I look fabulous, honey. But let's get into the steps. Step 1. Start with a revenue and margin goal. If your business plan says that you need 15% profit increase, your marketing should not be about random visibility. It should be about retaining high margin clients or upselling. Okay. Marketing objectives should always reflect the business objectives. So if you say, my mission is to help people have glowing faces, I'm going to use Sweet Spot, for example, glowing faces, then her marketing shouldn't be selling me underarm deodorant, right? Or it shouldn't be selling me foot bottom cream. It literally should be talking about the business objective to help me get glowing skin. I hope that's simple enough, right? Everything starts with your objectives. So you have to know your objectives. If you don't know them, then you should be reading your plan every day so you can stay focused on them. If your plan says you need to grow revenue by 20%, the marketing question is, what campaigns or strategies will directly move us towards the goal? Okay, so do you see how clean that is? If you have numbers, and I always say men lie, women lie, but numbers don't, you should always have numbers. All my clients, I require them to know cash flow numbers. I want them to know their sales numbers. I want them to know their projected forecast. I want them to know their actuals. I want them to know their inventory cash value, the whole 9. Why? Because you can't set a goal, a revenue goal for growth, if you don't even know where you're actually sitting. If it says that your plan says you need to improve your margins, then your marketing should focus on attracting high value clients or positioning premium services. Now, let's take a pause right there. People sometimes think high value clients means expensive clients, like people are going to spend uber amounts of money, but that's not necessarily true. Walmart attracts high value clients. What? People who require the needs for day-to-day living. Those are high value clients. Why? Because they're going to come back to Walmart each and every week, every month, every year to purchase their products. That's a high value client, somebody who's continuously being brand loyal and coming back to get it. So instead of starting with what should I post, the better question is, what does my business need and how can marketing support that need? I'm gonna say it again for you. What does my business need and how can marketing support that need? So when you start to get lost, just reframe and think about your plan. Open it. I say that plan it's never done. It's an evolutionary blueprint. It's something that you're going to use and change and tweak and add and amend and delete and edit. I'm just so excited about it. I'm just so excited about business planning because it just helps you to do what? It helps you to really match the people with the product or the service. And I can't stress that enough. Let's go into step number 2. So you want to match your marketing to delivery capacity, you want to attract the right volume, etc. If you have a small team, or if it's just you, yourself, and you, team of 3, then you shouldn't design a lead gen that campaign that really floods you with hundreds of prospects. Is that exciting? Yes, it is. You're getting excited. You're calculating the dollars in your head. You're saying, if I had 20 of that and 10 of that and whatever the case is. But the question is, can you handle it? It goes back to that capacity piece, right? In terms of the operations, is your operational framework able to handle the amount that's coming in? Your marketing should align with those operational strengths, not overwhelm it. So you might say, I have a great onboarding system. Amazing. Or I have Shopify and people can go on there and purchase whatever the case is. Amazing. But is it realistic? Like, do you have an inventory of 5 things and then you have 20,000 people visiting your site? Are you a service-based company that could handle 10 clients comfortably and really be productive, but you have like 200 people lined up to come in and see you? So you got to be realistic. Let's say that let me give you an example. If a consultant is working solo, you don't need a campaign that generates 100 leads a week because you can't handle that if it's just you. But on the flip side, if you scaled and hired a bigger team, coaching team, then your marketing should reflect the capacity. If I can take on 10 by myself and I hire 5 people, now I can take on 50 or 60 people and give them the quality of service. We spoke about that in my 3 or 4 part series with Chrisanne, where we really harped on understanding what scaling means. It doesn't mean just running through and piling up numbers. It means that there's systematic growth that helps you to build not just the operation, but also helps you to scale your human resources. It helps you to scale your finances. It helps you to scale your sales techniques and whatnot. So the question you want to ask here is, who can we serve best right now? Say that one more time. Who can we serve best right now? Think about it. If you're here, drop something in the chat. Who can you serve best right now? Because attracting the wrong clients or attracting too many clients can hurt your business just as much as not attracting any at all. They say everything in modesty works. It's great for weight loss. Yeah, everything in modesty work. Yep, I still eat that ice cream. Leave me alone. Step 3, let's talk about a little about systems. One of my favorite topics. Systems keep marketing sustainable. Okay, systems keep marketing sustainable. This could be a CRM, follow-ups. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. It could be automated funnels, or it could be clear dashboards. Dashboards are great, I will tell you that. Without systems, then marketing feels reactive and inconsistent. So here's a reactive. You see this new trend You find yourself on CapCut, there's a great template. You pop it up. You saw a trend of somebody throwing themselves off of a balcony and landing clear on their foot and jumping in a swimming pool. And guess what most people do? They react to that and they tend to try to do the same thing, but it's inconsistent because nothing else on your page matches that, right? Nothing else in your marketing toolbox matches that. So you have to be careful that when you're really pulling these pieces together, that you give yourself the opportunity to really look at the consistency of the message, because that is where most people struggle. Most CEOs are struggling with consistency. They know what to do, but they don't do it regularly. Why? Because there's no system. There's no system. When we talked about how operations and system impacts, I said to you, this is going to have to be something common that we speak about every day. And I won't stop coming on this show and doing that, because why? There's a lot of businesses who have potential but are peaking, or they're just dying out because they don't have the proper consistency with their systems and processes. Now, in this case, system means two things. It means automation and measurement. In automation, things like email funnels, CRM reminders, scheduling tools, they keep your marketing running even when you're busy. We know that when COVID came, there was a big jump on, I think it was Planoly. And that was the tool that I was introduced to be able to run my whole 30 days on media information or post, that I could plan ahead of time, kind of set it and forget it. Now today, there's so many different planning tools, even within your CRMs, within Canva, like they're all bringing in these planning tools. Why? Because they're trying to help you to create consistency at a one-stop shop. In measurement, you need to track the right KPIs, not likes, but cost per acquisition, lifetime value, retention rates. Those are the numbers that you want to track. So I did a challenge on Build Your Community Challenge, and that was really getting my clients to get out there, look at their numbers from day one, and then go back and look at their numbers from day two. From 30 days from now. And, I said it doesn't really matter in terms of if you lost or if you gained, but it was really about just looking at, is what I'm doing working? Am I connecting to the person or persons that I'm trying to serve? Because the key question then becomes, how do I make this consistent so marketing doesn't stop when life or business gets busy? We now hear the saying, life is lifing. Well, I like to say business is businessing then, right? If life is lifing, then you should have your plan. But here's the thing. If you don't even have a blueprint, then you're already setting yourself up for failure, right? So be consistent around understanding your systems and your automation systems. Again, if you need it, call your girl. If you are coming in, before I go to step 4, if you're welcome to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. You're joining me here, Miss J, on Business Weekly. And I know that around the world, all you entrepreneurs are becoming CEOs and you're building empires. And I'm super excited. So I hope if you missed the first part of it, please feel free to hit the replay, because it's going to be gems that I'm dropping on helping you on how to overcome roadblocks by aligning your business plan with your marketing strategy. Let's go to step 4. So let's talk a little bit about the storytelling. This is probably one of the hardest things that people encounter. It's about, how do I express a story that really connects people to the product? And you must understand that storytelling is the bridge between your business plan and your marketing. If your business plan, let's say your business model is premium. Let's say that you wanted to have a high end, you want people within a certain income, age, let's say background, whatever the case. You want them to be premium clients. You want them to come and buy your $5,000 product, your $600 product, or your $300, whatever that is. Then your messaging should reflect what? If you know, put it in the chat. What do you think your messaging should reflect? Well, there's about 3 key things I want you to think about. It's exclusivity. You don't see Mercedes on discount on Amazon or anywhere else. Okay. You also want authority. Okay. And you want transformation. Those are the 3 things that premium people look for. They look for, I want to be one of the only ones to have it, or I want to be an authority on the matter, or I want to transform to be XYZ. So you won't see discount offers on those companies because why? They're trying to attract people who are six figures and up. They're trying to attract millionaires. There's a show right now, I think it's called Billionaire Playground, where it's just strictly about talking how billionaires live and what they purchase, how they buy, how they live, etc. Now, the story you tell is what's going to position you in the marketplace. Storytelling is the emotional connector. It's what makes clients feel, not just think. In your plan, there's, four key things they talk about: your demographics, your geographics, your psychographics, and your behavior. And those four things make up your market segmentation. So when we talk about the behavioral aspect or the psychographic aspect, this is where the storytelling comes in. If you're presenting something to somebody, are they excited by the time they finish? I had a prospect yesterday on a call, and she was referred by one of my clients. Shout out, thank you, Tara's Vegan Cuisine, for the referral. And, she told me her story and what she wanted to do. And I could see just from the story how I could build the model for her business. I could see from her story who she needed to talk to about it. I could tell from her story what operational systems she would need to put in place. I could tell from her story how she needed to fiscally put a plan together in order to support the development of the concept. I could tell from the story. If you missed that part, that's what I want you to grab onto. I can tell by the story. It wasn't the nuts and bolts that she talked about. It was how she was feeling welled up with such pride or frustration or whatever the case is. And she wanted to solve this problem. She wanted to provide a pathway. And then I told my story as to why I started doing what I did. By the end of it, we were in love. We were in business love, but it happened. She became a client. Yes. Because why? My story will always be rooted from my business plan. This is why I started Empire by Design. This is why it started as Beautiful Women Society and evolved into Boss Women Society and evolved into Empire by Design. There's a story behind it. And Lord knows, I'm not one to talk about myself too deep, my past, my history, my whatnot. But when it comes to understanding why I do what I do, I'm positioning this as a brand that is helping people want to transition from small business ownership to CEOs, to building empires, to building generational wealth, to building legacy, and most importantly, to strengthen who you are to become better at what you do. But when you talk about your story, how are you positioning it? What type of brand do you want people to buy into? At book club right now, we're reading a book by, can't remember the name, but it's called Building Brands, Building Community, the last great marketing strategy. And let me tell you, I've been building community for 30 years, but it never hurts to hear a different perspective on how people build business communities. And I'm pushing all my clients into that pathway. As that's part of my 3 C's, right? The last C being community. Why? Because your story is what sustains the community. Your story is what connects to others who are probably in the same boat or could identify with that issue. And if you're a community-driven brand, then your story should highlight accessibility, inclusion, and shared success. People have to see themselves in your product, right? Just like I saw myself in my earrings, I saw myself in my hairstyle, I saw myself in this top, right? I saw myself, okay, the smartwatch, maybe I didn't see myself here, but I need to get my 10,000 steps. So I had to get into it. But all of the things that I'm wearing were designed to speak to me. So I'm just using that as an example. It told me a story. It said, if I wear these hoops, I'm going to look fabulous. And do I look fabulous or what? Yes. Do not say or what, because I will log you off my show. But what is that mistake entrepreneurs make? They make the mistake of trying to speak to everybody. Who do you want to help? Everyone. Okay, great. Why don't you just send me $5,000 to do your business plan, because we're going to need a lot of paper and a lot of time, right? When you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. Okay. If you're talking about nuts and bolts, somebody who's there to talk about spa care is not interested. If you were talking about making pizza and someone is there to fix their car, not interested. So we have to be really careful when we start saying that we're trying to speak to everybody. In fact, sometimes I don't even understand why people write their business plan if they're just going to ignore it, right? They say to me, this is who I want to talk to. This is who I want to serve. These are the reasons why I want to do it, Miss J. I get so teared up and I really want to help. And then as soon as, a few people say no, all of a sudden it's like everybody needs it and everybody needs this and everybody needs that. Well, that's not necessarily true. The right story positions you, right, to attract your ideal client and reinforce your business strategy. And you got to tell that story more than once. You got to be able to tell it very adeptly wherever you are, because you never know who's in the room, right? When you're intentionally marketing, then you'll find those, communities or groups or events that are very focused around your target market. But when you're talking to people, in essence, you still need to weed them out to see, are they the fit for my product or service? So for example, when I say to someone, are you looking to build an empire? And they say no, I say, well, good on you, keep up the great work, and I keep it moving. That's not my target market. That is not my avatar. I want people who want massive companies. It's going to take a while to build, but they're willing to commit to it, right? So that's what we're looking for. Yes, what's 876 Limitless Productions, Miriam Rose. Oh, Miss Universe, Mrs. Universe Jamaica is in the house. Yes, how you doing, girl? How's the crown, honey? How is the crown? Welcome, right? So just remember, the right story positions you and it attracts your ideal client, okay? And it reinforces your business strategy. You took time to work on it. You got up every day to put this into play. Don't waste your time hitting roadblocks that are not necessary because you don't want to take a minute to look into your plan and create your marketing strategy from it. So those are the 4 steps. I'll run through them again really quickly. The first one was, put it in the chat if you know it, business objectives. That's right. You want to make sure that you have a target. You want increases. And remember, that's what you should be working for every day. Not having 15 million products. You want $15 million on one product, right? So you want to have a business objective. Then you want to move into step 2, which is your strategies and operations. Make sure that your operations and your strategies match, right? Captured by Shani's in the building. Have you all joined her mini sessions yet? Get on it. Okay. Then you also want to remember step 3. Step 3, we talked about systems, right? This is where you want to automate. You want to think about how are you going to make it consistent. It could be an onboarding. It could be having, a great POS system that carries all your products. Remind yourself, without systems, marketing feels reactive and inconsistent. So you make sure you want to do that. And then last but not least, storytelling. The biggest of them all is the bridge between your marketing plan and your business plan. Okay. So remind yourself, what is the story? Who am I trying to touch? Who am I trying to reach? Right. And this is something that you want to keep reminding yourself, because it just gets really, really easy to forget, because you get to these events, you're talking to everybody, nobody seems to be biting, and you get so, how can I say, discouraged. And then you start going home, you start thinking, well, is my product viable? Is my service really good? Maybe I should change it. Maybe I should add 400 other things to it so that it's more attractive. And I'm not saying that you can't have added value to your product or service, but what I'm saying is don't try to create a whole new product or service, because that requires a whole new plan. You basically want to start practicing your storytelling. So how do we put that into action? Well, here's an example. If we have a 15, let's say this business plan says increase profit by 15%. So instead of chasing new leads, the marketing strategy really focuses on upselling existing clients, right? That's often more profitable and efficient. And why is it more profitable? Because it costs less to serve someone you've already acquired in the first place. So if your cost per acquisition is something at like $2-3 per person, then your existing client is probably 50 cents, right? Because why? You don't have to build credibility, faith, trust, or loyalty to your brand. They already did that. They're purchasing from you. And a lot of time entrepreneurs forget that and they tend to run after the new because there's almost like a dopamine addiction that you get someone new and you're just like, oh, I'm in a sale, right? Because they're new and they're this, and all the existing clients are like used toys. You kind of have them somewhere in a bucket collecting dust, and then you don't even think about them after they've purchased from you from the first time. So instead of chasing those new leads, you want to look at upselling to the ones that you have. And in order to make it sustainable, you put a system in place like a referral program and a retention funnel in place. Okay. Then you adjust your story. So instead of work with us for a quick result, say we're your long-term growth partner. Okay. And I tell people, all my prospects and then who become my clients, I tell them, don't ask me when the program is finished because it's not a program. We're here to build $1 million company, which means I'm going to be with you until you make $1 million. And for some, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. As to me, as long as you're putting in the work and we're trending in the right direction, then I'm there. I'm a long-term growth partner. I'm going to bring my expertise in systems, operations, and building your knowledge, skill, and capacity. And I'm going to continuously push you to get to the positions that you want to be in life and in business. Now, in this situation, they're using a referral program and a retention funnel. So now the marketing plan is now clearly tied to the business plan because that's what the business plan had said, right? That you want to bring in repeated sales based on the people that you're helping. The story told to the market is focused on stability, it's focused on partnership, and it's focused on growth, not just transactions, right? You want people to revere you as being a stable person that they can connect with. If they're buying a tube of toothpaste, you still need to have stability, partnership, and growth. Why? Because your teeth or their teeth and your toothpaste can be partners. Okay, so make sure you're not just looking as, oh, I sold a tube of toothpaste, I'm so excited, and I'm on to the next to go sell another one. Now you want to be really focused on, I sold that toothpaste, how do I get them to buy the toothbrush as well? Okay, so there's something in it in terms of your action. So what are some key takeaways that I want you to pull from this? Well, the first one is marketing should serve as your business plan. That's the bottom line. That is just the bottom line. Your business plan is the driver, okay? Marketing should never be a random or reactive thing. It should be intentional and it should serve the plan. If it's not serving the plan, then you're creating isolation, and marketing is not an isolated activity. I mean, marketing is part of the biggest part of the plan, right? So don't put the plan down and tuck it under something or put it in some file that you'll never remember and not visit it. It's an extension of your strategic direction. So when you say, this is what I want to do, I mean, usually in your mission, values, philosophies, and goals, you really indicate where you want to be in 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years, right? So you're looking at those incremental milestones that you can gauge how your company is growing, and then you can pivot, right? What you need to do in order to get you on that track. When you view marketing through the boss lens, right, you stop chasing marketing fads and you start building aligned, profitable strategies. I want to say that again. You stop chasing marketing fads and you start building aligned, profitable strategies. Okay. Every channel you choose, every campaign that you run, every message that you put out should trace back to a business objective. I am glad you're doing wonderful. I so miss you, Miss Miriam. Right? Every channel you choose, again, it has to trace back to the business objective. There's always some conversation around what's the best platforms for me. Well, we'll have another show on that as part of this marketing campaign that I'm on about, how to get over the roadblocks. You want to become the boss at your own marketing strategy, right? I know what I want to market. I just hate doing the work to market it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not perfect. I'm just damn near excellent, but I'm not perfect. Right? I know, where I need to be. And sometimes I have to flesh it out. Sometimes I think, okay, maybe I should be on IG or I should be here or there, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should be on LinkedIn. But we'll talk a little bit about more of that in a future show. Okay. So let's just recap there. Key takeaways. Your what should be your focus? Business plan, right? Every channel, every message, every campaign should flow to a business and be the boss of your marketing. We went through those 4 steps. Hit the replay, go through this systematically, press pause, make notes. I like to tell people, don't just watch something and then think you've retained it. Rewatch it, reread it, rethink it, write it down, build it out, connect with your coach. If it's not me, whoever you have as a business coach, have the conversation because you're trying to make the money. So if you're not actually doing the things you're learning out here, or you're hearing me and other people talk about this, and there is a whole internet world full of this information, it doesn't help if you don't actually apply it. Okay. All right. If you're just coming into the show, welcome. Your girl Miss J is loving to have you here, right here on Business Weekly on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. Again, if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. Make sure you're following Love Bay Radio on IG, where we put all of our marketing for our shows. And remember to tune in, put it in your calendar every week, 7:00 p.m. with your girl Miss J. Let's get to work. Now, I always like to promote what's going on that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's lots, but these are some that are close to my heart. One Dream Walk of Hope, that is the Olive Branch of Hope, is hosting a walkathon. They're doing a One Dream Walk to raise awareness about breast cancer and to ensure that no one faces this journey alone. So whether it's your mother, your sister, your auntie, or a friend, too many people have been touched by this disease. And so they're walking to honor the fighters, celebrate the survivors. I like that, the survivors, and remember those that they've lost. So you can make a difference. If you would like to make a donation, just hit up www.2114.ca/hope. And you can be doing a small donation. If you can't be there, donate $5, $10, $15. But if you can be there, August 23rd, I think it's at 8 a.m. they're starting. Don't quote me. Somewhere on the screen, read it. Oh yeah, 8 a.m. It is there. At G. Ross Lord Park. So that's just over Islington if you're in the Toronto area. And if you're coming from Brampton and whatnot, it's not too far from you. All right. So let's walk in love. Let's walk in memory. Let's walk in hope together. What else is going on? Whoa, what happened there? Let's try that again. Oh, okay. It didn't want to move. All right. Technical difficulty, but we're back on the block. Let's try that one more time. There we are. So I spoke about this last week, and I'm going to keep promoting it because it's happening on the 26th. Grassroots Fund. She's an Empire client, so I'm always saying what's happening in the Empire world. Grassroots Fund is doing a how to convert contacts to contribution in 60 days. So if you are a nonprofit organization, you could be anywhere pretty much in the world for this. You can tap in, okay? Just go to Grassroots Fund on Instagram, or you can just go to grassrootsfund.ca and you can get this information and register. It's complimentary. It's an hour workshop. It's going to be amazing. And so if you are into the NPO world, jump in on this. Even if you're in the profit world, you can still utilize the same information because it's talking about converting contacts into buyers, right? So whether or not you're donating or they're buying. Afrofest is on August 30th. That's coming up. And our girl from the Empire, Letitia Thomas, is going to be a guest speaker. She's going to be on at 2:15. So I'm excited to see her go up there and, just inspire people to be a great entrepreneur. She has an amazing company called Yaga My Locks. So hit her up on IG, yaga.my.locks. I think it is. My memory is serving me somewhat well today. You can be getting crown accessories. I can't wait I just got my hair done. So I'm going to go get myself now my crown accessories to put into my hair. So my hair looks fabulous. But she's definitely going to be inspiring on that day. So go and check her out. Okay. And support Afrofest because it's Umoja Wellness Day. All right. Type thing. Sorry. It's Umoja Wellness Day, not Afro. Afro Carb Fest is happening on August 23rd and 24th. A lot of things coming up this weekend. So if you don't have anything going on, jump in on all of these. Okay. Jump in on all of them. Hey, Sweat Synergy's in the building. Yes, honey. Yes. Sweat Synergy just is wrapping up their boot camp. So there was only one more session left. August 25th is the last session. And then you can join. I didn't get a chance to put it up, but you can join her squat challenge. And that's going to be a 21-day squat challenge. If you're looking for the booty to be tight and right, get on it. Okay, check out sweatsynergy.ca. And let me tell you, I have tights because she has a fitness apparel line. Killer. I love them. Like, I swear by them. I think I have like 5 pairs now because it just makes me look good. When I was walking up the stairs and my husband said, "Oh my God, your tights look great." Ordering some more. Okay. So definitely get into it, people. You want to get into it. You want to get into it. All right. So let's close out because I told you 45 minutes, we're going to be in and out. We're in and out 45 minutes. Here's the bottom line. Your marketing plan should never sit on its own. It's not about chasing your likes. It's not about running random ads or being on every platform. It's about alignment. When your business plan says we need to grow profit margins, your marketing should echo that by targeting high value clients and reinforcing your premium positioning. When your business plan says we're focused on retention, your marketing should focus on deepening relationships and creating loyalty. All right. Marketing becomes a very powerful tool when it's informed by strategy. And when it's the engine that drives your plan. Okay. So it's not just something on the side that you can get to. Your engine has to drive the plan. In fact, when I start to actually gear up to start doing my marketing or execute, I find that I have to stop because then I get 2 or 3 new clients. And then I know that my plate's full, right? So you want to be asking yourself key questions. Does my marketing truly reflect this direction? Just look at it. Like, if you look at your page, is it saying what you wanted to say? If not, then it's time to shift your lens and become the boss of your marketing. All right. That's what we promote here. Boss methodology. I had fun. I hope you did too. I hope you got something from it. This is Business Weekly right here on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio each and every week at 7 p.m. Reminding you growth is never by chance. It's by design. Okay. So until next time, I want you to keep building smarter, stronger, more strategically. And as always, spread your wings and let's fly. I'm Miss J, and I'll see you next week right here on Business Weekly. And in the meantime, if you're not following me, follow me on Empire by Design _ on Instagram. Have a good one.